Hong Kong and Singapore are the two countries most open to facilitating international trade. That's according to the first Global Enabling Trade Report published by the World Economic Forum. The study ranks nations based on their market access, border administration, transport and communications infrastructure, and their business environment. East Asian and European countries rank high on the list, with Canada the top-ranked North American nation. The United States is further back at 14, while China and India lag behind at ranks 48 and 71, respectively. I spoke with Margareta Drzeniek, a senior economist at the World Economic Forum and a co-author of the report. I asked her what conditions made Hong Kong and Singapore so conducive for trade.
Actually, Singapore and Hong Kong, both of these economies perform well across all the four indicators, all the four categories that we assess in this report. These are basically market access. Both of these economies are top in the world in market access. They do not live by any tariffs. They have some non-tariff barriers, but in terms of tariffs, they are world leaders. And then they have very transparent and very efficient border administrations as well. They also have very good infrastructure. For small economies, this is quite natural. And last but not least, they have a very conducive environment, business environment for exporters and importers in the country.
Well, if one looks at the top 10, it's striking that there are a number of Nordic countries like Denmark and Norway, also Anglo-Saxon countries like New Zealand and Canada. But one of the big countries that's not on that list is the United States. What is the US getting wrong, if you like?
In the United States, we have seen, and this is actually one of the striking results of the report, that actually the security situation is perceived as being a very serious impediment to trade. We have conducted a survey of business executives. We conduct a survey every year, and in this survey, the business executives say that the cost of terrorism on doing business and the cost of crime and violence as well are fairly high in the United States, and this obviously impacts international trade as well.
So is this actually, if you like, Americans afraid to do business overseas, or is it people from overseas worried about doing business with the Americans because of all the the security hurdles that they've got to jump over?
It's actually the businesses that are based in the United States that we surveyed, so we asked them in how far they perceive this as a cost to their operations.
Well, what actually, though, looking at the other countries, and again, a big country that isn't in there is France or Italy or a number of other major EU players. Again, what are they doing wrong?
For many of the EU countries, it's the business environment that's not flexible enough. It's the regulatory environment that's not good. Some of the countries also have difficulties in the area of border administration that is not efficient enough. It's fairly cumbersome to import, for example, some of the European countries. So these are the aspects I would highlight in this respect.
Overall, are you disappointed with what you found here? Do you find that there isn't enough transparency, or do you think it's more or less as you expected?
It is more or less what we expect, actually. We expected many of the Nordic countries to be on top of the list in terms of transparency of border administration. In many of the European countries, yes, it tends to be quite disappointing, but this is data that we've been working with for a while, so this was not a big surprise.
Margareta Drzeniek there of the World Economic Forum.